Welcome, guys. Let's start the week. Now we are heading to week 50, actually, and I will start with the economic calendar this time. Okay, so what we are seeing, we're gonna start the week with the GBP news. Some of the high volatile news here. This could have an effect on the GPB start of the week, and we're gonna look also on the indexes, what they're showing us. So I think Monday there will possibility a high volatile day starting at 8 a.m. Then Tuesday also some GBP news, and the business confidence of the Australian dollar could be also interesting in the evening. Right, and after that the CPY from the USD. The last time we saw like a move of 100 pips or something like that, and probably the Tuesday gonna also an interesting day. Also, if you see the inflation rate and things like that, and yeah, so also to Monday I expect a volatile market, Tuesday a volatile market as well. Let's see, Wednesday the GPY, some maybe something interesting also in the evening at 12 p.m. almost 1 p.m. Inflation rate as well from the GPB. We saw a lot of GPB news, and also the Euro CPY. This was tricky last time because we got the CPY, and 1 hour after we got the liquidity on it. So I want to see how the market reacts now on the CPY. And of course, the Fed interest rate decisions on Wednesday. It is gonna be a crazy week, in my opinion. FOMC as well. Fed. Oh damn! Yeah, this is gonna be a crazy Wednesday. Actually, a lot of volume in the market, and then Thursday, GPY as well. And unemployment rate from the Australian dollar, also high volatile news where the market likes to move with those news. Okay, after that the rate decision of the GPB. So again, the GPB, I think interest rate decision by the European Union. Also damn. Also high volatile news for the USD on Thursday. And then in the evening, not a big deal, but Friday again the GPB. So yeah, also the CPY on the euro, CPY for European Union also. So yeah, I see a lot of high volatile news starting from one day, ending on Friday. Each day is something to trade on, actually. All right, let's start with the USD CAD. Still looking for this movement, actually. Try to reaching the next zones here in. We bounced from the zero line, we got the buy signal. This is what I was talking about. There was a divergence as well. The target was beautiful reached, and now the target is back to this side. And by the way, guys, this is almost 600 pips, no, 400 pips moved yet, and the target is about 600 pips. Later on, I will talk about the Rima and the bull bear. Okay. So this haven't changed yet. We got the blue signal as well. We are heading up. There is a possible cross on the Rema as well, heading into green. So maybe this target will be even small because, like I said, the previous zooms as well, if you see on higher time frames what the USD is about to do, is still a big move to the upside. What I'm expecting from the XY, at least. So this target is temporary, actually. I will say, see this zone here. I think this zone will break, and then this is the next target. This is the first high to break, and if you break that high, you're coming to this point of the market. So yeah, that's something crazy. Looking still about 700 pips to trade on in this movement, right? But first you need to break this high, and then we are moving to this area. All right, the Australian NZD still the same, actually. As you see on the bull bear as well, there is a bear dominance in the market, and we gonna need a correction. This is a good sign, actually, for a correction, possible correction, which is forming right now. Also seeing the Rema heading up, and the oversold area on the destroyer. Okay, but don't forget, guys, even if the price moves up, we are just seeing a correction of the market because we are under the zero line. Okay, but we see a lot of Australian dollar news next week, so I think for next week then the Australian dollar will dominate here between the two, because this is a beautiful candle what we see here, right? The Euro GPB, is still in a red momentum, across down. Oh, sorry, I'll go back. I was a bit too fast. Let's see on daily basis. Daily basis, a small bear, but I still expecting one more bounce. Like I said, on weekly basis, this needs to break out. And if I see there was a trend line break and then a connection here, break, and after that we are heading up. So the trend line is connected with this candle, and so we're heading up. Okay, and the next, the daily basis on the Australian dollar NZD, and there was a divergence from 2-3 weeks ago, but still, if you see, here is a divergence, but the correction, even if the price moves up from a correction, you see here is the previous low, and the volume is already higher, in my opinion, already higher than the previous low. So even the price comes back to this area, to the previous low, we are gonna have a down movement, right? Because there will be a big divergence, and we are under the zero line, so we are still looking for the NZD dominance, right? You see here as well on the bull bear that we broke down and couldn't break actually, but if you see, the bulls are on oversold zone, so they need something like correction, something like they did here, right? Because it's almost the same setup right now. The Euro GBP, I see here a divergence, and I see here as something about cross. So the GBP, I think, is about to dominate, and from previous week we got two of the zones. First, this is the TP, and second will be this as the TP. And nice confirmation on daily basis, because we see the divergence on the chart. We see the structural divergence, and we see the destroyer divergence, and even on the RIMA you can see some divergence actually. But now with this candle we broke the EMA, and looking for those areas actually. So I want to see the GBP dominance. The next Euro CHF. Okay, let's see on weekly basis. Weekly basis, we see a convergence right now, but this is getting close to each other. But what we see on bull bear is in bounce. That's interesting. But how I see the USD now, both of the currencies are weak right now. So what I see is a red momentum and a sell signal on weekly basis. So I still want to see something the same area. Let's delete those things. I want to see the price ranging in this area, actually, not big move from now on. Daily, maybe, but first need to break this point, because here is the previous low on the destroyer, and if, as you see, there is already a lower point. So if the day starts weak, actually, this could be mean a divergence for us, and the bounce back up. As you see, the bull bear, also still bulls are in dominance, right? But we see two weak pairs, so it's not the best thing on trade on like we see on Euro GPB. It's clear that the GPB is dominating the Euro right now, right? Let's see the DXY. The DXY weekly basis. The DXY, we reached the target zone from 4 weeks ago, actually, and I think now it's time for the correction. But still, we got so many news that this could make first an up move with Monday, and then a divergence move back down, and then probably one more divergence, and we are gonna heading down. All right, I want to see something like this, because as you see on the weekly basis, the bull bear has the dominance right now. All right, so the longer position will be bearish on the DXY for now on. All right. But as you see, the USD is still dominating the Canadian dollar. So what we're expecting is still a weak Canadian dollar, like I said the last week. And as you see how the CXY is close, just crazy. All right. So I want to see a correction and a down move, but this down move doesn't last, in my opinion, because I want to see on longer term a stronger dollar. And as I show you one more time, this is why on yearly basis, and we are 19 days away from the next year candle. Even if the price goes down, we want to see a bull continuation on long term from the DXY. Okay, so let's clear that in your head. Let's see on daily basis. I see convergence right now, and there is still a bear dominance. But if, as you see, the RMA broke, but we have to, like on the zero line on the VV plus, we have to break also the zero line on the RMA to get an impulse up. Okay, but even if what I want to see from the XY is a correction right now, like I drew the last week, this, and then I continue move down, and from that down movement, I expect a big move up actually. So the up move will be bigger, even bigger than what we see right now. Okay. Let's see the EXY. The EXY look like it's bouncing from this area. We weren't able to break. Okay, so the next thing is actually back a down movement, and we see a big divergence on the destroyer, but we are above the zero line. So this will mean we're gonna have a correction. Let's see what the price does on around the zero line, and then we can look forward. All right, there was two scenarios here, and I think I can delete this because I'm waiting for more this correction. Okay, I want to see that change in the bull bear as well. I think zero line will be broken. We see right now convergence, but on the weekly there is a biggest divergence. So I want to see maybe one day more, something like consolidation in this range. But after that, I want to see a down movement from the GXY. Okay, and I want to see actually the zero line break on the daily basis. The euro making convergence actually, but as you see, the bears are on an oversold zone, so this is possible to, like the last time when we are so low, like here, there is a possible change in the two direction. So it will say that the XY is about to drop, but like hard to drop. And if the XY drops, the XY is rising actually. So yeah, I'm waiting for this. This week will show us the long-term movements So it will depend on this week, in my opinion. Okay, not much to see. Want to see the price goes down, like I said, maybe a bit up, but no more. I think we doesn't gonna reach this area. Okay, but it's still, don't forget, it's still a down movement. All right, let's see the break. This is XY. All right, we see also, if we're looking for this candle here, we see a divergence between the two. Okay, I want to see a correction first of all, that's because this is a crazy bull run, and like we saw on the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, we need that correction. Even here, we need that correction before we can move in any other directions. Okay, because it was a crazy movement, and this could mean also a head and shoulders pattern right here in inverted head and shoulders, and back to the neckline, or even the higher point as the long-term CP. Okay, what we need first is move. Yeah, and first the correction, at least. That is the first thing. Also above the zero line. So yeah, let's see the daily. We are making divergence, I think. Maybe a false breakout, like you say. There is also first we need to break this, and then we can see a correction. All right. The AXY on daily basis. Yeah, there is a divergence, which I drawed last week. There is still nothing changed, and here is also divergence. So the ZXY is still dominating, even if it needs a correction. There is a divergence, but we need to break first. We should break first this point to get convergence, but even if we get convergence, we're gonna get the same result. All right, this is about to go down. I think there is no another option. Let's see the SXY, the Swiss franc. There is a convergence right now, but we are above the zero line on weekly basis. And like I said, both of the euro and the CHF are regional pairs of week right now. So I would say let's go to the resistance, actually. As you see, the bulls are dominating right now, and on the RIMA as well. So we got the same colors. See on daily basis. This looks good for a breakout. We are about zero line, getting the green zone buy signal on the destroyer cross in the REMA, and as you see on the bull bear also, the bulls are dominating, but the bears reaching almost the oversold zone. They are on oversold zone actually, not like they did here. This could mean a correction first and then an up move, right? But still, this is my target on long term. But this is need also correction. It's like from October, end of the October, moving up. We need that correction here as well. But I think this is for something for next year. And then I think the most interesting pairs or the indexes, the BXY reaching my target zone. Maybe a correction down, but I think even if the correction happens, here is the previous low. I don't think the previous low will be broken. So even if the price goes down, I want to see an up move, and maybe, just maybe, something like this. But because of the oversold zone, and there is place to move, so even if this goes up and this goes down, I think there will be a bounce. There will be a bounce. This will go down and this will go up. All right, because we are also above zero line. But right now we are on the overbought zone, and this is most likely when one more impulse is about to happen, and thus we are that's why we are changing to smaller or even bigger time frame. Let's see on monthly basis. Here is the previous high. So if I want to see a target, at least this should be broken by end of this month. I think it I think it's very far away. I saw some crazy moves from the BXY already. This can happen with a lot of news this week. We need the next 2-3 weeks, actually. Next 2 weeks. And where a big move to break this point and get convergence. But if this doesn't happen, then we will see a big ass divergence on monthly basis. So we are coming back around this area and we are going down if it doesn't break. But reached nice, almost reached my target zone. I really want to see what's happening next week, and from this point I want to see a break. All right, I would like to see a break to the upstairs, actually, even without correction. This is hard to predict right now, but in my opinion we will see a bullish BXY, and they're gonna get a push till the last days of the year. And then we got the CXY playing out, reaching my target zone. This was my target zone from I think the bounce of the trend line. And yeah, what can I say? The same pattern what we're seeing on BXY and AXY on weekly basis, the biggest divergence here. Also the same thing we saw the divergence 4 weeks ago, and I saw the bounce from the trend line, and this was my target zone. But I think it's not the end. All right, because if you see the red zone is yet created, like yeah, the last week is just created, and there is a lot of space to move. And as you see, the bull bear, the bears taking over the currency. So I still want to see maybe also target zone. Crazy, that's crazy. I think this is the all-time low, or from the data what we have here, we're gonna reach the all-time low on the CXY. All right, let's see the gold, what we have on gold weekly basis. Both are dominating, but like I said, if the DXY this week, it depends on the CPY actually, in my opinion, what is going to do about, we see right now a convergence, but I like to trade on convergence as well, because we are heading to the overbought zone, and still want to see maybe one more up move about 500 pips. This stuff would be very nice actually. Let's see on smaller time frames. I think this is to break. So it's interesting because we see an economical crisis. One of the winners are the ZXY, in my opinion, and maybe the GBP. How I see the end of this year, but as I see on the ZXY, New Zealand economy is going up, and the rest of the world is actually going down in most of the ways. Yeah, it's a good convergence as well. We are seeing red on the VV plus, which means we're gonna get probably a next bull candle here, but I think this will depend on the Tuesday's CPY. I want to see what tomorrow happens with the market because of the GBP. I think the rest of the pairs will also show some liquidity, and then yeah, and then we are waiting for the CPY of the USD, right? My theory. And even if the correction is made here, it will mean the XO go down, because it's related to the XY, as you know, and the EXY as well. But as you see, we need a correction from the EXY. So this is why gold maybe just maybe I see something like sideways movement, because if no the EXY moves down, the so oh no, actually it's correlating each other, so it means the XO will go down as well. Okay, let's see the US 30. What is this one? US 30. Yes, this was my prediction on US 30. We saw here beautiful. We doesn't reach this level actually, but we got the harsh breakout, like I thought, and then we got the pullback. I'm sitting in this position still actually. I think I can delete this, and this is the target zone, right? Which I said it's about 2,000 points from this point. And I want to see here the bull bear also this heading up and this heading down, like we see on the RIMA. We broke the zero line here, and we broke the zero line on VV as well, right? Weekly basis, that's nice in my opinion. Need that correction down. It was from also the start of the beginning of October rising, so we need that correction back down. Even this is my target, but this could come back even at this point. Okay, so maybe a BTC. I can put some monthly basis. Yeah, here was a divergence, and we are heading up in sideways movement. So I would like to see like something like convergence, and the next move down because in my opinion, the very beginning of the year, we're gonna see a crash. I want to see a crash because the recession is, I think, is yet big on, and there is something bigger to come into the markets. I think something same what we saw in 2008. I want to see something on the Nasdaq, on the US 30, the US 500, the S&P. The same thing. What we saw here in, oh, that was Corona. Wait. Maybe. Wait. Okay, no, I don't find the data what I want. S&P 500. This. Okay, never mind. Maybe I can show it on US 30. No, we don't have data. Why? Maybe, but the broker. Oh, here we go. So this was 2008. All right, I want to see something similar because on the COVID, it was a movement, but not a movement like this. It was an impulsive movement down, but a bigger move up. And right now, I want to see a big move like here. If you see the pattern, like what's happened here on the top is similar to here. What's happened before the crash, not at the divergence, because you see here is a beautiful divergence. Here wasn't that beautiful. We see the divergence, but it wasn't as beautiful as in 2008, but it's something familiar to happen. I see here is to cross, but I think the bears will dominate. All right, we see right now convergence on monthly basis. Let's see on weekly how it looks like on weekly. In 2008 was also convergence, a lot of convergence in the market, and here, maybe here, no, it was also convergence and one more movement. But let's see here. If you see here, we see right now a divergence, and I would even say we are on long term. If you see the similar thing like here, we are coming back to this point and even to this point. All right, I don't think we had, we doesn't see something like this before, not in my career at least. So I'm very exciting actually about this, because like I said, the recession is yet begun, and there is big things to come, in my opinion. All right, is what I'm reading from the charts, what I'm seeing from here. Also, on a yearly basis, it's a small divergence between the two, but that is it. It's there, you know, it's there, and that was a whole year of crash. But right now, we need to see something bigger than that. As you see, from 72, we are rising, just rising. It's not possible for market something like this. It's just not. And this good. One, two. All right. Yes, 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 yes. Or even yes, looking better. Oh, yes, the alerts on the zone working well. If you saw my position on XAU, this will be the target actually. This will be the target on a yearly basis. As you see on the destroyer as well, it's a very beautiful divergence. The small one, but a beautiful one. Okay. Like it was on a yearly basis also divergence and then going forward with the convergence, but it happened because there was a divergence, and right now there is a divergence. So there is something to happen. All of the US 30, the US 500, the US 2000, something to happen, and I think the next years they will be crazy. I don't know what is about to happen with the world, but I see it's coming. So yeah, keep it up, guys. It will be a long winter. Okay, I'm sitting in position, I think, from this point, and it's covered. Let's see. Okay.